I don't know, y'all. I have no idea why it's always something trying to block us and getting this message out. But we refuse to allow the devil to stop us from getting this message out. So we gonna get the co-host on. I'll play y'all a little music while we waiting for him to come on. And y'all come on back in. Living and Learning with Cousins on Tuesday night. We are definitely going to tackle this subject. We love to interact with y'all. Y'all are our cousins too. We all are distant cousins. You know that, right? And we definitely want to get it started for you. Here in 1 second. Soon as my co-hosts get back on. We're going to play a little music for you while we wait. And tonight, we are talking about raising kids, the millennials. Woo, they something else, y'all. Hey, D. Hi, Miss Andrea. Hi, Ma. Okay, let me get the co-host back on. Hey, sis. Hi, Brittany. That is my makeup artist. She always makes sure I'm right for the show. If you far away and you want some tips on your makeup, you can find her on YouTube at Brittany's Beauty, and that's spelled BRITNEY BRITNEY Beauty. She always got me hooked up for all events. If you're in the Arizona area, she does weddings, prom coming up, graduation. She will hook you up. We'll definitely, you can definitely let me know in the comments and we can get you hooked up with her. She's online with us right now. What's up, cousin?
What up, cuz?
Hey. So we're going to go ahead and get started since they slowed us down. I mean, our shows have been doing so good that I think that it's some type of hating going on in the background. But
Oh snap, my cuz Kiera just came on. What up, Capron?
hey, Kiara.
That's my dog right there. Mm.
Let us get it started. So, Living and Learning with Cousins every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Tonight is episode 5. Y'all, we 5 weeks in and doing it moving.
Man.
Yes, and tonight's topic is raising kids, the millennials. Woo, I got some stuff I want to share with y'all. We got a special guest in the house. He got some perspectives he want to share. He got 4 children of his own, and he's going
Ooh,
to
that boy
talk to
been
y'all
busy.
tonight. Yes. We always start our show with our knowledge nugget.
All day.
Come on, Champagne. Go ahead. Give us your knowledge nugget for the week.
Listen, usually I've been giving y'all nuggets that have to do with some kind of scientific value or something like that, you know. But today this ain't got no scientific value. I'm gonna give y'all something that it really I call it useless information. Why do I know it? I don't know. But so I think I'm gonna give you two real quick. So
Okay.
first off, just out the blue, there are 110 ridges on a dime. Did you know that?
No.
There's 110. Why there's 110? I don't know. But there, your dime has 110 ridges.
All my
Mm-hmm.
dad. I actually
Mm-hmm. My
saved
dime too.
coins, y'all.
They got 110 ridges. All right, but the second knowledge nugget, real quick, is you know how people say that camels can go a long way in the desert because they have those humps, and people think there's water in the hump.
Yes.
There ain't no water in that hump, bro.
What's in the hump? Is it just like muscle and bone or what?
It's actually fat.
Oh,
Hmm. Now, what it does do is it uses those fat deposits to continuously, to nourish itself to keep going. 'Cause, your body can live off of fat. If you got fat, and your body will
That's a
eat it up.
nutrient.
It ain't
So
nothing but fat. It's just
so
fat. That's it.
nutrition is my degree. I'm not in the
Okay.
field. I do have my own business that actually I actually do nutrition and health, and I actually consult and help other people learn how to eat right and everything. And
True.
I know that fat is not healthy for humans. It may be healthy for the camels, but it definitely
hmm
is not healthy for us. Okay,
You know
but
it.
you're right. It is a nutrient. It's the only
hmm
nutrient that your body can actually hold. So any other nutrients that
hmm
we need, the different vitamins and minerals that our body needs to function properly, because our bodies is just like a well-oiled machine. It needs those nutrients
Yeah.
that we can't hold. We have to continue to feed the body that on a constant basis. But that's another topic on another day. I'll
hmm
talk health with y'all on another day.
Your passion came out real quick,
Ooh,
girl.
yeah, a little bit of knowledge. Some of that knowledge I've been holding in about my passion. We definitely are going
hmm
to talk about that. Hey, Mira. Hey, Courtney. Hi, nephew. Who all done came in here? I'm missing everybody. Okay, so my knowledge nugget of the week, I do like to have mine kind of relate to the topic. And mine is a research study, so scientific research study that children, when you get them in an extracurricular activity, so it don't necessarily like my sons, they play football, basketball, the sports, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a sport. I mean, it could be piano, it could be dance,
Hey,
anything, any extracurricular activity that that child loves. 80% of those children who do something like that, it could be spelling bees, right? Are actually successful. And what they defined successful in that study was they actually go and do something with their life. Like they get a degree, they have a career, they actually, are not living in poverty. Did you know that?
true. I didn't know
80%.
that.
So
I
get your
didn't
kids
know
into
that.
something. It's real
Now,
important.
what what I did know is that when you do put kids into sports, that it does help them to develop skills that they can use later on as adults that would make them successful. But I didn't know that 80% of them bad boys be
Right.
successful. Oh, you know
That's
what I
some
mean? I
good
didn't know
stuff.
that.
That's
hmm
some good stuff. And I'm a living witness of it because I'm sure if I didn't help, have my kids signed up for something, I mean, we lived in Cincinnati, the environment wasn't all that. So, and then I took them out of there. But if I didn't, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm glad I got them into something that they love to do and it kept them focused and grounded. They may not be go to the NFL. But there's still potential for that because the
For
opportunity
sure.
is still there for Jacoby. But at least I know
True.
they're not gonna be out in these streets. They ain't doing drugs. They ain't out here popping out 11 kids, having
hmm
sex with multiple women, um, and just having kids by multiple women. You know what I mean? Like at least I know they mind on straight, and they
True.
going out for their college degrees. So yes, that's my knowledge nugget. So we got one guest speaker in the house. He
Watch
definitely
your
wanted to
mouth.
put his point of view and his perspective in tonight. He is here with us, and we definitely always want to let any guest speakers message us. Y'all know how to reach us. Go to our page, Living and Learning Cousins. Let me know what topic you want to come in on. We'll definitely love to have you. And this is my brother. Ooh, my heart. Devin Davis, and he is about to tell
Ooh,
y'all his knowledge nugget. Tell him a little bit about yourself and tell him your knowledge
double
nugget,
D.
Devin.
Double D in the house. Watch your mouth. What up, cuzzo?
How y'all doing? I'm Devin. I'm the youngest of three siblings. I have two older sisters. As you can see, I have one right here, and the other one is probably at work right now. Um, what else? I'll open book. If you ask a question about me, I'll let you know. But my knowledge nugget is a little bit off topic. I had another one, but I changed it. But did y'all know that polar bears cannot be seen with infrared
What?
because their fur, don't get me wrong, their body heat is still the same temperature, but their fur takes on the temperature of the snow around it. The only thing that can be seen in infrared is their face and their breath.
Wow, that's good stuff right there.
That is awesome.
Y'all
I
be
like that.
teaching me.
I like that,
Y'all be
boy.
teaching me. Devin is in the house. Hi, Auntie.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, mom's on there. My dog
you
Tito
see?
watching. What up, cuz?
That's my heart right there. So we are going to. I'm gonna sit this back here so we both can get in the camera. All right. So we about
Hey.
to tackle this topic: raising kids, millennials. I'm raising millennials. My cousin Champagne raising millennials. My brother raising millennials, and
Yeah.
he have a different perspective. He gonna tell you a little bit about his past, and he gonna bring his perspective in on it. Um, I first want to tackle the difference between the millennials versus raising Generation X or baby boomers. If you don't know the definition of that, baby boomers are more like our parents, and I'm Generation X. Champagne is Generation X. He doesn't claim millennials. He feels
He
like,
like on the cusp. He
yeah, he
barely
on the
made it.
cusp. And he feels like that he actually takes on more of the Generation X generation because he feels like that he's more from that cloth. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But my sons are definitely millennials, and your sons and your daughter definitely millennials. Hey, Alexis.
100%.
So I want to talk about the back then versus now. Okay, so back then we were not disrespectful. We did not cuss. I watched this video today. It was a live video. This dude was mad because he got on the corner because somebody sold him a fake uh, Apple Mac Pro book or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was cussing, and his grandma was trying to add in the video, and he telling his grandma to shut up. Shut up,
Oh.
Granny. Don't be in my video and cussing because he's so
What?
mad at this person who got him for the money. He got him for $500, right? And he cussing. I could not believe it. So I definitely wanted to tackle on that. Like, if our elders don't want us to cuss, then we don't cuss.
Simple.
You know, I always say I'm going to be vulnerable and open with y'all. And, I'm going to talk about experiences. I'll just say, I have a lot of nephews and a couple of nieces, right? And I just remember hearing one of them, I won't call nobody out, cuss in front of me. And I felt so disgusted. I didn't understand at first why, at 41, our elders didn't like it until it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that
Mm-hmm.
don't look right. No, I don't want to. Like, she was like, but I'm grown, and I'm like, well, wait, but that don't look right, and it don't sound right to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see you using those words.
Mm-mm.
But the respect that I have for my elders, if they don't like it, I'm not doing it. There ain't no
Of course.
question. Like, there's no rebuttal. You see what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids today, they stay on their phone. I'm doing the new versus the old, right? Stay on their phone. You can't have dinner with them. We used to have dinner and sit around the table and have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Get to know each other. We used to talk about things. You take these kids out to dinner, and everybody's sitting on their phone. It is about the respect. It is about the
100%.
respect, Brittany. And what do you want to add to that, Champagne?
Okay. Well, first I want to say what up to my brother Josh. He just came through. What up, cuz? He in
Hey,
Texas.
Josh! I ain't seen him in forever.
Well, I tell you what, I haven't had I wouldn't call it a luxury. I haven't had the opportunity to get pissed off yet because my sons have not cursed in front of me. Neither has my daughter. But believe me, when that day comes, I'm getting all up in that asinine crack. I'm telling you, I am not having it. I am
Yeah,
not having it. All right. And like you said, it's all about respect. There's certain things you can say in front of your parents, certain things you can say in front of your friends, and you better know the difference. If not, then I'm gonna teach you the difference because I thought I taught you before, but I'm gonna make sure you know it. Okay. And
right.
so these kids nowadays, I think the main problem is that a lot of us, I think it's the problem of the parents. I think parents aren't out here being parents anymore. I think parents are allowing, social media
Mm,
influence and TV and all this other stuff to raise their kids, in which case all that cursing and all that extra stuff is out there. So then we just allowing it because it's normal. And I think parents should start to like do what our parents did, put their foot down, teach respect and demand respect. As a matter of fact, I
Yeah.
came to the point one day I feel like growing up, every man pretty much almost got knocked out by their father at some point. When you start to smell yourself,
Right.
and you almost lose track of the fact that you're supposed to show that respect, and Pop's gonna be ready to knock your butt out and remind you that that respect is still most needed, and you better give it. So that's still how I parent, me personally, but I feel like a lot of parents aren't doing their jobs anymore, and that's why these kids are running wild, and the world's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. That's what I
Yes,
think.
I agree. With Auntie, they trying to be their kids' friends, and I also agree with you. My kids don't never cuss in front of me, and I know when I'm
Mhm.
not around, they got some dirty mouths. Like I know it. Never. One time, my son's wife, she was talking and it slipped. He was so mad. You know what I mean? He's like, "Don't do that in front of my mom." That's because that's
Mhm.
how I raise them. You respect your elders. You have to. It's just that's the way of life. They're older than you. They know more than you. They did more life than you. If they tell you to do something, you're gonna do it. Period.
Mhm.
That's a sense of respect. And what you think
Mhm.
about that?
Well, like
That-
like like Nate too said, it is on the parents because we do raise our children the way we were raised, and we try to influence them the way we were influenced by our parents and our grandparents. But it does come off sometimes like social media, these video games, they friends at school, all these negative influences in their life. We try to cut them out, but we can't cut them all the way out because we don't want them to seclude themselves and be like all these other people, kind of like mentally challenged.
Right. We want them to
Mhm.
be
We
social.
want we want to be social, but we want to know the respect level of being social with an adult and a child.
Right. I definitely agree.
Mhm.
And it looks like we
Mhm.
had a couple comments. Hey, daughter. My daughter on here. Let me.
Hey.
Hey, Debbie. Ooh, that's my
You
girl.
gotta scroll. You gotta scroll up to get to the
Yeah, let
first
me
first
go up
question.
because we didn't got some things, and I know.
I think Bree Charleston said the first thing.
Yes, she said, let's play devil's advocate. So if
Oh.
an elder doesn't want you to sing or dance, if you're passionate about it, I already know where this is going. Would you still not do it? LOL.
Well, I can answer to that.
Yeah, you answer that one.
Even though I think she just playing, I'm gonna let you know how I feel about that. So cursing is a negative connotation. So in a case where elder doesn't want you to curse, it's probably because in your best benefit. And like I said, to show respect. There's no disrespect when you're dancing or singing, unless you're doing it in the wrong place. Now, if you're in a place where you're supposed to be quiet and respectful to something, maybe I don't know, church where you need to, I don't know, and they praying, or I don't
Right.
know, a funeral or something, and people up there talking, or I don't know, any kind of ceremony. When an elder tells you, "Hey, don't sing and don't dance because everyone's being quiet," and that's a respectful thing to do, then guess what? You better not sing and you better not dance.
You got that right.
Okay, and that's just what it is. So it depends on, obviously, you got to put everything in the context where you are, and what's going on in that area. And if it is whatever that thing is, including singing or dancing or cursing, if that's gonna be disrespectful for you to do it, the elder told you don't do it, then don't you do it. It's simple.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think, actually, my perspective on it, I don't think like my elders, my family, that's mom and dad side. They love to watch us sing and dance. We do that for fun, huh, Nathan? We
Hmm.
be singing, dancing. They be like singing dance for us.
You already know.
Get up there and sing us a song. So they usually like singing and dancing. So yeah, if it's something like that, usually that's something that that is okay with the elders. And it looked like my sister said that um I think she was trying to say the lack of discipline. Like the kids aren't disciplined. That's real important too. And I know for me, that's something that sports did for my sons. That's something that sports did for them. It gave them a extra sense of discipline, structure, functionality. Because I was a single mom, so their father wasn't around. I had to figure it out. I had to be the nurturer, the disciplinarian, the teacher, the cab driver, the
Hmm.
money. Speaking of money, I got wanting to talk about that with the millennials too. I got
Mm-hmm.
a bullet point about money when it comes to these
Mm-hmm.
millennials. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk about that too. But that's true. It's a lack of discipline. They don't know better.
Mm-hmm.
And Auntie
Mm-hmm.
said they trying to be their kids' friends. I'm not your friend. I'm your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And your friends are the ones that's gonna tell you, let's come on, let's go kick it, or let's go do this or do that. I'm gonna be the one to tell you, hey, that's not the proper thing for a young man or a young lady to do.
But
Mm-hmm.
also, a true friend will let you know when you are wrong, like cussing in front of your parents. If they don't let you know
Ooh.
when you are wrong, they're not a true friend.
I agree.
Yo, I was just about to touch on that, cousin Devin. Yo, I had a incident once when I was in college, and the hurricanes. I went to college in Florida, and the hurricanes was coming. So I went to one of my college friends' houses, and so
Mhm.
they're hanging out, and I guess he got upset at his pops, yo, and he cursed at his pops,
Oh,
and like I almost spit out my drink, and I got mad at him, like, bro, what are you doing, bro? You can't be doing that. And he's like, no, man, but nah, he nothing, bro. It don't matter. He made you. He allowed you to be here. You do not. It don't matter. You don't disrespect your parents, no matter what. Like I got pissed off at him, and me and him started arguing. And his
right,
dad, I don't know if his dad was gonna say something or not, but me and him started arguing because that made me feel offended. I felt awkward by him cursing at his dad.
right.
So as a friend, I had to let him know, like, bro, that's unacceptable. I don't care whatever you learned or was taught, but somebody taught you wrong, bro, because you don't do nothing like that. Period. It's
Right.
respect, like she said.
I wouldn't sit there and watch that either. Um, so Brittany, and on Facebook she go by Bree Charleston. She said she feel like
Okay.
people use curse words because they don't know how to articulate themselves. It's a nasty filler word. That's true. And usually, and I try my best not to cuss as much as possible because the older I get, the more I realize, hey, that's not really classy for a lady. That's just how I feel. And because in my 20s and 30s I did it so much, sometimes it slips. And usually when it slips, it's because I'm angry. You're right. I'm not thinking out my words. I'm not articulating my words to the
Hmm.
best of what I know I have in my brain. I'm very intellectual and I know that I can get my words right. But when I'm angry, I'm not even thinking. That's
Hmm.
why I don't, and we talked about that during communication. I don't like to speak when I'm angry. I want to get my words
Hmm.
right because I've done that for years and it didn't work. Things don't come
Right.
out right. You're not thinking out how to articulate what you're feeling, and you don't have to
True.
say it in an angry manner. In an angry manner. So because of that, I always just like to take some time to breathe, think about why I'm upset. Think about maybe is it me? Am I taking this too far? You know what I mean? Am I thinking too hard? Am I making myself upset? Because we have a tendency as humans to do that too. We take something that somebody say or do and we blow it. We can blow it out of proportion when it probably wasn't even that bad. So sometimes I
Hmm.
like to take that time to think and before I speak because I want to make sure I articulate what I'm thinking right.
True.
Let's see.
I think cousin Joshua had the next one.
Okay, let me get to it. Hey
That's
Josh.
that,
He
that's
said
what's
instead
up.
of cousin Nate too taught me how to say what the flip mode squad. Well,
So let
explain
me.
that,
I
Champagne.
gotta explain that, bro. I mean, when I was younger, I was crazy, man. So I made up other words that sounded like it. I was about to say the curse word, but I really wasn't saying the curse word because I played on words a lot. So instead of whatever Flip Mode Squad is one of my okay. So Busta Rhymes is my favorite rapper, or was when I was growing up,
Hey.
because he's crazy. That boy off the top. And then his squad was called the Flip Mode Squad. So
Right.
then instead of saying what the F, I'd be like, man, what the Flip Mode Squad? And so then that's what I thought him to say. And then yeah, and then honestly, I had a whole little song. I don't know if you ever heard it that played on curse words. I really wasn't saying it, so I'm just gonna sing it for y'all. Y'all ready?
Yeah, say your voice. I love the entertainment.
So it'd be like, I kick your aspirin, you dirty biscuit, you mother fudge cake. Now get the helicopter out of my face. You ever heard
I
that
love
before?
it. I
I
do
remember that.
remember that.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the
uh,
words to sing it, but when you said it, I'm like, oh, I remember that.
yeah,
You know
we
what?
used to do dumb stuff like that.
I mean, I think, finding a code word is much better than getting smacked because we used to get popped. These kids
Hmm.
nowadays, they don't even get whoopings. I used to get my lip. I get my lip busted. I didn't even have to say a word. All I had to do was stump or blow hard. Bow. Like, did you just blow your breath? So it's totally different with these kids because any little tap, they like, oh, you're abusing a child. Like, no. I think I turned out pretty fine, and I got my butt whooped all the time.
Exactly.
You know, Auntie
Society.
Cheryl know that. I was a
Society.
bad kid, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I was a bad kid. I was stubborn. I thought I knew everything. All these vices, but it all went back to different things like wanting my father around. But I was able to face those things as an adult, and that's how I'm able to carry myself differently, and that's why I'm able to live and learn and share with you guys. Because I did a whole 360, but it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work, and I let the past things attack me to make me feel I wasn't adequate, and all I had was a defense mechanism, right? And that's what changed me because I had to battle that. I had to face that. Like, you know what? These things made you build your brain for so many years to think that it's okay to be defensive, but you need to rebuild your brain. You need to reconstruct it because that's not the way of life. It's not the way of living. And I'm so much more compassionate. I'm so much more understanding, so much more open-minded. I love to learn. I love to listen. I had somebody the other day give me feedback on a workout video. We talked about how I do health, you know, and I did a workout video, and I had somebody give me feedback on it who's very, very good at what they do. And I was so open to it. And the person was like, thank you for being open to feedback. Like, people, you know, have a tendency, they say they want to hear feedback and they want, you know, you to help them with, you know, building their business, but usually they get defensive. And definitely the kids today, they are like that. They are very defensive. I don't understand it. I don't know why. You know, it's always, oh man, I don't know, were we like that? Some of the elders that's on here, tell me, were we like that?
I can tell you what the difference is. You know, just the kids, since, you know, nowadays it's all about, you know, I don't know, not like everyone has to like walk on eggshells with everybody. Like, what's going on now? You can't say anything that's even halfway critical to anybody. It's like, it's almost like we give kids, not we, but society is giving kids a pass. Like, oh, no one's ever gonna say anything negative to you. If they do, then like it's like a big deal. When back then that was just a part of life. Like, I think our parents purposely put pressures on us to make us into diamonds. You know, because without pressure, then how you gonna deal with this outside world? Because people outside don't even care who you are at all. And they're gonna come with everything. So how are you gonna build up that tough skin to be able to deal with society if you can't even deal with, you know, what's going on in your house with your parents putting the pressure on you or telling you, well, you know, whatever they told us, you know, you ain't got to hold back. Like, I feel like it helps us develop into the people that we need to be ready to go out and conquer the world. But if we be super soft with our kids, like how society is trying to tell us to be, then that's why they being all extra defensive and they extra sensitive and they extra soft. And, you know, so that's what's going on.
Yeah, you had something on that?
Yeah, one thing I realized, I'm in the middle of the generations. You know, I'm right in the cusp of the Generation X and the millennials. And I sit back and watching both generations, I learned a few things. That I also learned that the older generation, which is Generation X, they were taught these morals and values when they were younger, and some of them didn't accept it until they went through certain things, and they reverted, as they get older, they reverted like, wow, my mom taught me this, now I'm using it. They reverted to all the things they learned when they were younger after they went through so much to where when they got older. I'm seeing that, I've seen that's going to happen with this younger generation. We are teaching our children the right way to do things, the right way to be, but some of them are not accepting it, but they're getting it. They're hearing it. They're not accepting it right now. They're going to have to go through something, hopefully not traumatic, but have to go through something in life to where they realize, okay, I understand what they were saying. Now I can put this into play in my life.
I actually agree because I feel like, I feel like both of my children, they're millennials. I feel like they both are a little spoiled, but I feel like the older one, they're 8 years apart. So I feel like my oldest son, his name is Vino, for everybody out there who don't know. And my youngest one is Jacoby. And they're 8 years apart. And I feel like Vino, because now he's an adult, he got his degrees and his job, his business, his wife, and a child. His perspective is totally different. Where Kobe, he ain't got no kids. He graduate high school next. He ain't went left to go to college. Bino left and went to college, so he had experience not having mama there. Like Kobe's about to really experience it. He still, feel like mama is an all savior. But I'm like, I can't wait for him to get out there. Because I'm gonna let him be. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let him get out there and learn.
Oh, I gotta say what up to my dog D Gods, my dog David Plascio. That's my brother from a different mother, man. What up, cuz?
Who is that? You said what's his name?
Oh, David Palacios. That's my brother from a
Hey,
different mother right
David.
there. Mm-hmm.
So let's see what the people talking, because we always want to keep you guys incorporated with the episodes. Brittany talked about the passion of dancing and singing, the same thing that Nate too had hit on, and that was good. Brittany said, "Don't you dare slam a door." I know that's right. We ain't slam no doors in no houses. We got beat if we slam the door. Hey, Angie, that's my cousin. She said, if you thinking of what to say, just remember to always put Lord Jesus Christ in whatever you are going to say. You got that right. You got to think about, and that's something too. What's very important to me is what is my purpose, and that's going to be a topic we're going to hit. It's funny how these episodes kind of intertwine with each other, because it's all about life. And the reason why my purpose is so important, it's like God brought me here for a reason, and what is my purpose? And so every time, you're right, if you think about him and what he has for you and what his purpose for you is in everything you do, you can't help but be on the positive side. You can't help but to get the words right. You see what I'm saying? I agree. What you think about that, Champagne?
Well, first I want to say what up to my dog Jonathan Tyson. Everybody's popping on here, man. I appreciate all y'all for coming in, man. This is awesome. But what was your last sentence? My bad. Say that one more again.
We were talking about. She said, "Put Lord Jesus Christ in whatever you are going to say."
Yes. So, so as far as that, I couldn't necessarily put Lord Jesus Christ in everything I say because I don't believe in necessarily taking the Lord's name in vain. So if I ain't talking about him specifically, then I really won't say that. But I get the sentiment that she's trying to say, because, whatever you're gonna say, obviously you want to make sure that it's something that that it's not derogatory or negative, so if you keep Jesus in the forefront of your mind, then those things, the things that will come out your mouth won't be those things. So I get
It'll
what she's
keep it
saying.
positive and uplifting, like
Yeah,
it says in the scripture. Um,
of course.
Always say things to help others. Okay, let me think of exactly how I go. Always say things to uplift others.
You about to spit
The way
some scripture?
God,
Go ahead then,
the way that
Pastor.
God uplifted the church. Because, and I think that's in Ephesians. I think it's in Ephesians. But don't give me the quoting scriptures. I know my scriptures because I studied that Bible. But to know exactly where it is, I might mess that chapter up. But I'm pretty sure it's in Ephesians. Let's see. And then Brittany's. Oh, Devin got a perspective on that. Go ahead.
No, it's not a perspective on that. I'm just being honest right now, open and honest.
Okay.
Because something hit me when y'all was talking about punishing your children, or not punishing your children, but you understand what I'm saying? Whooping them and teaching the right and wrong. A lot of people don't know I was in prison for 8.5 years. And I had to parent, or try to parent, from the system. So I had to call, talks, and that sometimes doesn't work. So I'm a little more harder on my children because I know the outcome of not being so strict or not being as passionate with your kids or not being as involved in their lives as you should be. And it hurts. Like literally, I'm about to cry because I missed so much of my kids' life by dumb mistakes, by not listening to my parents and not taking what I've learned from them and using it in my life. So I'm just hoping somebody can teach their kids from this what to do and what not to do to stay away from the road that I went down.
True.
If you need help, contact my sister. She'll get a hold of me. I'll talk to anybody's kids about any situation. I'm open for anything. But this is
He making me get teary. I ain't gonna mess my makeup up. Because I feel that, it's got to be hard for him. I mean, we always was there for our nephews, He got 4 sons, and you definitely don't want your kids to make the same mistakes that you make. We definitely want more, for them and from them. We want them to learn from us. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Raising kids is very hard. You want
Yep.
to hope that they take in everything that you're giving them, but you're not really able to see it until their actions, until they get older, and see if they got it, if they grasp it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand that has to be difficult, and the system sets it up, and the system makes it really hard for you to be a part of your kid's life. Everything got to be registered. Everything got to be. It's just very difficult.
I got a little nut about the system too.
Cycle. Hey, Auntie Birdie.
Hey, Auntie Birdie.
I got a little
Listen.
nut y'all that most of y'all probably didn't know.
Go ahead, bro.
That if your parent or someone that you were close to in your life, as a role model in your life, went to prison, there's a 60% chance that your child or someone that you would help raise will go to prison. It's been studied. I've studied it. I looked at it.
I can see that.
It's true.
So you fighting hard to keep your kids from being in that situation?
I went through this because of my own mistakes. Now I created my bed. I had to lay in it. Now I'm trying to help them make their bed, so they don't have to lay in the bed that I laid in.
Right.
True. A lot of times, your kids, if they see you do something or go through something, even if it's negative, they still pick it up. They still pick it up. So it's going to be very important for you to make sure you hammer that point home for them not to follow in your footsteps, because this is natural for a kid to want to do, especially a son. Natural for a son to want to do what his dad do. I'm telling you, like I felt, like a lot of people that was around me, when I first started having sons and everything, used to tell me like, man, you so hard on them boys. You so hard on them boys. It's because I already know that they got me inside them.
Right.
And if you got me inside you, you got me inside you. It's a lot that can go wrong because I know you're gonna be crazy. You're gonna be mouthy. You're gonna be just down for whatever, And
Right.
I'm sure that's the same reason why my pops was hard on me, because he saw like, man, I probably got him in me, and he was like, oh, I gotta beat the devil out of him.
Right.
It's just what it is. It's yeah, I just think it's important. And Devin, I think I commend you, bro, for doing what you did from inside, because a lot of dudes, once they go inside, they almost feel hopeless, and they give up, and they just leave it all up to the lady to handle it. But can't no lady really make a boy into a man. They still need that father. So the fact that you went hard as you did to make sure that you were still able to reach out and went through those things that the system make you go through to still be able to be there, bro, that's ultra commendable. Like, you did your thing on that. So I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. Thank you, cousin. You know what? I want to add to that because I lived through it. And I have to commend him that it was never a moment that he wasn't making sure that we were involved, that he was involved. He didn't do how some people do. I don't want to see my kid. I don't want my kids to see me like that. He didn't do that. He's like, bring me my kids. I want to see them. So they knew. So they didn't never forget. And they were waiting and, ready for their dad to come home. I had to commend him for that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, his wife said he did more than his best. Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
And your wife was there. So if she said you did that, then I already know you did that, because she gonna keep it 100. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like, she was there.
Brianna. Okay, it looks like, let's see what Angie said. She said, but if you call yourself a child of God, you should say
What is right?
What is right. But the flesh do step in a lot of the time. You better believe that. But at the worry time too. So we need to get ourselves together so we can bring our children up right. That's right. We do. I have to say, I was strict. I agree with you. Champagne. I was very strict on my boys. I have high. I still am. I have high expectations. I just got on the grown one the other day. My mama used to tell me you too hard on them, but when I look back on it, I feel like I must have did an amazing job because look, those boys are very articulate. You know what I mean? They're educated. They're doing something with their lives. They're not out here, like I said earlier, on drugs, popping out many kids. You know what I mean? Like, so if that was too strict, then I didn't play no
That's what it
game.
is. Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no girlfriends. They couldn't tell me if they did have one because I said no. Until both of them about 17. They were about 17 before I was like, okay. And that's pretty harsh, you know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, there's no need. There's no need. I didn't even know, that there was girlfriends until then. I was like, oh, there is, because they wouldn't tell me because I was very strict about no girls. Hey, Brianna.
Mm-hmm.
No girls. So we actually, huh?
Is that cousin Angie?
That's my cousin Angie, my husband's cousin Angie. So okay, so I got more bullet points, and I know we really kind of got on that last one, the old versus the new, like Generation X versus millennials. But I know last week we talked about sex. We do keep it PG. We know that it is yeah, grandparents, y'all are soft. I sure on y'all grandkids.
To a fault.
I
To
am
a
too. I got a
fault.
grandson too, y'all. And
To a
Vito say
fault.
I give him too much. He say I spoil him too much. He whines over here if he wants something, and Vito say he don't do that at home. You better stop giving him
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I know the feeling now why they do it because it's so hard. Because as a grandparent, that's really just your job, though. You ain't really got to do all the disciplining and all that. You do a little bit because when they're at your house, you ain't about to let them get out of hand. But I
Right.
am soft on my grandson. He get everything.
Listen, Mama Cheryl done told you. She done already put on there. She's soft. Superiorly soft, okay? Superiorly.
Because think about how she was with
Superiorly.
us.
That's what I'm trying to say. All I try to do is to get them discipline that she gave me. And then when I try to do it, somebody say, don't be hitting my grandkids in my house. What
How
you
can you do
mean?
that as
You
grandparents?
was smacking me up in your house. Why I
Right.
can't do what you taught me to do? You know what I mean?
And got the
Like,
kids thinking they can get away with something over there. Like,
exactly.
Oh, grandma, you
I'm like,
right.
mama.
I'm like,
Mama,
hold on,
don't
mom,
do
I got
that.
this. Mm-hmm.
That's true. So I was gonna say, I want to throw a bullet point out there with your kids. Um, we talked about sex last week, and we talked about it being biology, the body having the hormones where you start having these certain feelings at a certain age. Talk to your kids. Kids nowadays is having kids way too young. I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenage mom. I made sure I talked to my kids because I didn't get the conversation from my parents. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that conversation with me because it wasn't something that was had. I remember going to a cousin and was telling her I was having these feelings. My very first boyfriend, I was 14. I was having these feelings that I wanted to, go and have sex with him. And my cousin went to my mother. My mother went to my grandmother, and my grandmother said, and I told her the reason why I went to her because I was like, can you take me to Planned Parenthood? I was like, I want birth control, right? She went to my mom. My mom went to my grandma. My grandma said no because they were old fashioned. She was like, no, that's condoning a teenager to have sex. You're not going to be able to stop it. That's why I want to
Mm-hmm.
hit on that topic. You're not going to be able to stop it. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
find ways. You can't have cuffs on your kid. You can't watch them 24/7. So
Okay.
teach them. Teach. You don't want the streets to teach them. You don't want these dudes or girls because these girls nowadays is oh
They
my
be on
god.
it.
Bust down, thought
They
the
be
young
on
That
it.
boys.
yes, they are. They are. I don't even like to talk about kids, but they are nasty. Let's just call it how we
They
see it.
said
That's
the
what we
nasty.
do here on Living and Learning with Cousins. We call it how we see it, and it's a
All what
mess.
it
So
is.
talk to your kids. No point to wait. I mean, puberty for some kids could be 10, 11, 12. And I know kids out here losing their virginity at 9. So talk
Mm-hmm.
to your kids about that. Either one of y'all want to add
Yeah.
something to that point?
I mean, yeah, I mean, my son's 12. He'll be 13 next month. We had a conversation about sex maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Who is
You
that,
know, me
Trey?
and my
How old is
yeah, Trey, he's gonna be 13 next
he?
month.
Ooh,
Time be
yeah,
flying, yeah. So,
yeah.
you know, I sent him to well, me and my girl sent him to this camp. It's called Pure Reality, for preteens and teenagers. Pretty much just trying to get them to, you know, understand what sex really is and
Mm-hmm.
how it really like it's more than just a physical act. How there's spirituality involved and how you know you're joining souls and it stays with you. You know, so
Yeah,
it's pretty much telling them like to abstain from it until you find that one person in your life that's super important that you're willing to share that with. So, you know, when he came back, you know, we had a conversation. So then I started, you know, digging into him and see what he learned and see how he feel, you know. So I'm like, you know, I asked him like, you know, how do you feel about sex? You know, have you been wanting to do it? Blah blah. You know,
right.
and he told me like, you know, pops, like, no, not really, you're not really interested in sex. He told me his friends at school talk about it a lot, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I'm like, do they? I'm like, you know, what they be saying. He was like, oh, you know, they want to do it. And I was like, okay, I remember when I was 12, 13, everybody was talking about they want to do it, you know, but most of the time, I don't know about nowadays, but most of the time, most people were scared. But there was maybe that one or two people that was doing it. But you know, my
Right,
son said he wasn't really interested in necessarily doing it. You know, he thinks girls are cute and stuff. Which you know, in that age, you should be at least looking,
right,
not touching yet, not touching,
right.
just looking, just looking. So you know, I was pretty you know happy to hear that. And then he told me. Now I know that that camp helped him because he told me that he felt like that in his life he's probably only going to have sex with one woman, and he
Ooh.
felt like he was going to wait until he found that one woman, and that's the only girl you're going to have sex with. Now you know I'm not the one to tell him like, bro, that's probably not going to happen, but
I
I
like
am
it. I'm
so
glad he said
glad. Yeah, I'm 100% glad that at least that's what he has in the forefront of his mind right now. So right now, at least, you know, while that's still fresh in him, I'm sure he's not just looking for any random girl to have sex with because you know that place, well, the camp taught him to, you know, wait for that one girl. So I hope that lasts forever. You know, I know
right
that's wishful thinking, but you know,
for a guy.
I'm glad about that. I'm glad.
But I definitely, I think it's amazing that you're able to talk to your children like that. And I actually have that same relationship with mine, and that's something else that you know is very important about the millennials. Have the relationship with your child where you can have a conversation with them. True enough, we got to discipline them. We do, and we definitely not trying to be their friends, but be able to sit down and have conversations with them because that's the best way for them to learn, and it's better to get it from you than somebody else. I was wondering.
They're gonna get it,
Oh, they gonna
whether
get
you or somebody else. They're gonna get it.
right, right. What have you had a conversation with your son? You know, I know my
Um,
nephew's 12.
Not yet. He'll be 13 December
Yeah,
4th. But
not yet.
we haven't had that conversation not yet.
Oh, you better.
But we do, me and my wife, we do have an open door policy when it comes to our children. If you have nothing is off the table, if you have something that you want to talk to us about, or if you're questioning or wondering about, come to us. Listen, we let them know, like, if you have any question, any inclination, anything that you want to know about, that you heard, want to see if it's true, we will. If we can't give you the answer, we will find the answer for you and give you the right information.
I like that. They got an open door policy, like at work. I like that. Tell the kids that. I'm about to call my sons right now
You
and
know
tell
what
them
I
I
mean?
got an open door policy.
You know what I mean? Management.
Okay, I like that. Let's see. Um, let's see here. So, my sister Brittany said not mine, but I'm not sure what she was referring to. She said her grandma. Oh, she's talking about her grandma. She said her grandma be raising. Nuck if you buck in Jesus' name.
Okay, both of
I
her
love
grandmas,
her grandma.
both her grandmas are pastors or deeply
Mm.
rooted in the church.
Yeah, they are.
But don't get it twisted.
They'll put you in your place.
Exactly.
But
In the
most
name of
elders
Jesus.
and church folks, that's what they do. They don't play.
Mhm.
They be putting them kids in check too in church. They do not play. They be telling them, sit down. You don't gotta go to no bathroom. Take that candy out
Oh,
your mouth. Stop
I
talking.
know
so
you ain't chewing no gum.
Right? Um, okay. So the next one, because I know we getting into a lot when it comes, it's crazy because it be so much to hit. Um, um, uh, why do the kids, okay, this question is for you, Champagne.
yeah.
Why do the millennial kids think that money grow on trees? Why they spend our money so fast? Why They want so much, they ask for so much, and it's all, like I don't even know. Like my son right now, he want $150 pair of. I mean, I don't even like the shoes, but I guess the rapper, what's his name?
Yeezy, Kanye.
No, the one that do Sicko Mode, that song Sicko Mode.
Um,
What's his name?
Travis
Scott.
One Kylie Jenner.
He want those shoes, and they $150. I looked at them shoes like them are ugly. I don't want to spend that. I'm like, I don't want to spend $150 on those. They ugly. He's like, they're the only shoe that has the backward Nikes. Like, I don't care. Why do they think it's okay to spend up our money? What have we done to put ourselves in a position where they always think that we just gonna go always buy them stuff?
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that that's our fault. I think that's a social media effect again. They see it on social media, everybody flashing these dollar bills and money and showing you they freshest clothes and even though everybody be faking, these kids act like it's real, like that's really real, what's really going on. So, that's all they seeing. That's they flooding their mind and their brain. They steadily scrolling all day. Kids steady scrolling, comparing themselves to millions of other kids on there that be scrolling and like I said, and so to them it's like, man, if they don't have them shoes, everybody else on social media got them shoes. Why I can't get them shoes?
Right.
So and I don't know. I think that's really messed up the game, yo. Social media really has a big imprint on what's done. All of this stuff to these millennials. Like I said, 'cause all the stuff is so it's the information is so readily at their fingertips, and they seeing all the stuff. Like we ain't even had no shoes that cost $150 when I was growing up. At
Right.
all.
The
At
most he
all.
paid was 100, and it was the Jordans. That
100.
was it.
It's
That was
100. Like 99.99
99,
was like the
right?
highest shoes. And if you got those niggas like, dang, no shoe cost $100. Like,
Right.
dang. Most
Right.
of the shoes, if you got some real nice Nikes, they was about like 65, $70.
That's
And
true.
those are still high prices. Like, man, y'all got these Nikes for 70. That was a big thing. Now they got the super basic Nikes, super basic Nikes. Like Air Force Ones costing 130. I'm like, what? Oh, come on.
Better not wear them shoes. Back in the day, you better not wear them shoes outside. You had school shoes, which is $100 shoes, and you had some Walmart brands to go outside and play in.
Oh,
Exactly.
Mama never buys no Walmart brand.
Mama bought me a couple pairs of Jacks.
Not me. Because I ain't play that. I was rotten. I was like, I want Grant Hill, Scottie Pippins, Michael Jordan, but I played basketball, so she was like, okay.
Listen. Oh, let me tell you something else that my mom did to me that made me understand the value of money. So when it was time for me to get some new shoes, my mom was like, all right, listen, because I wanted these Air Max that just came out. And I think they had cost 130. They was brand new on the market. It cost $130, right? And I wanted them, and she was like, listen, if you want those shoes, you got to do something and pay half. You got to do some kind of something and make some money and pay half. So I'm like, dang, where I'm gonna find what's that, $65? I ain't just had $65. I was in like, I don't know, like seventh
Like,
grade.
how
I
much-
couldn't even get a job if I wanted to.
Right.
So I'm like, and I probably I could have came with some. I probably could have went and raked some leaves and shoveled some snow. But I pretty much was like, man, you know what? All right, whatever. Then I just need some shoes. Just go buy them. Like, don't worry about the Nike Air Max. You know what she came back with for me? She came back with 2 pair of shoes. 2 pairs though. You know what they were?
What?
She came back with some Sprints. Some Sprints. They were Sprints, bro. I remember Sprints with an S. Some Sprints and some XJ9000s. Okay. Yo, I remember them to this day.
Oh, you was
Sprints
mad.
and XJ9000s, yo. Talking about some, yeah, I bought you 2 pair. And I was like, no, mom, I can't wear those. No. And so then I was like, dang. So if I want nice things, I got to get up and go out and get it.
For it. That's right.
And that taught me a lot. So we got to do the same thing to these kids out here. You can't just give it to them. Make them do some work. Make them wash your car. Make them do something to understand that you got to work.
For them Travis Scotts, because Devin said that to his son earlier. I told him to take out the trash. But they were over here. And then he was like, shoot, you need to be calling. You need to make some money. You need to be calling your auntie and your grandma and seeing if they need you to take out their trash, clean their house, do something, right?
Do a car wash or something, stand outside with a sign, with a bucket, and tell people to come on in, wash their car, wash some windows, do something.
We got to dust. We live in Arizona. We got to dust constantly. I like to clean the baseboards. I can definitely put you to work. I'll
exactly.
Pay, but you
wash walls.
Work, so I ain't got to do it.
Remember grandma's like, wash them walls.
not all hustles are negative.
That's right.
It's true.
That's right. People, you look at that word hustle as a negative connotation, but not really, because me going to work every day is a legal hustle.
You're going to
True
Herbalife,
that.
legal hustle.
That's right.
Kids breaking
True that.
leaves, washing walls, washing cars.
All
That's a
that.
hustle.
That's right. You
All
better
that.
get your
Washing
money how you
windows.
can. I'm about to tell Kobe because I'm tired of paying for the washing machine. Hey
You
Danielle,
tired of paying for the washing
I
machine?
mean the
What's she
car wash.
talking
The people.
about?
So my car, I get it hand washed. The people to wash it instead of me paying the washing machine. I got a washing machine. I don't know where that came from,
I'm tired
but
of paying for that washing machine.
everybody got to pay for their washing machine.
Oh, snap.
But no, I get my car hand washed because it's nice. I don't want to get it scratched up. I already done messed up one of the side doors. I ain't gonna tell y'all how I did that, but so yeah, I get it hand washed. I'm tired of paying the people. So let's see. Brittany said,
Hey, Claudia. Yo, I used to be working with her at Sawgrass Mall. What's up, Claudia?
"Hey
That's my homegirl.
Claudia, hi cousin." um, so I know I got my coworker Alondra on here. I don't think I ever seen her come on my show. Hey boo,
Ooh.
that's my lobster. We always find our way to be back together. Like we always end up in the same department, get the same promotions. That's my, and I'm probably gonna be going where she is. She just got a promotion. I got an interview tomorrow, so I'm gonna smash it for the promotion. So I might end up going where she is again. So we call each other because lobsters. She told me this. I didn't know that they always find themselves back connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like they always find each other and they come back together. And she told me, she always say I'm her lobster. Let's see. My sister Brittany said, yes, because kids nowadays have the impression that they can't tell you anything because you'll get mad at them. So I tell mine, no matter if you think I'll get mad or not, to tell me anything. That's right. And we gotta
That's the open
make
door
sure that
policy.
we not getting mad when they trying to confide in us. Right? We definitely, your daddy on here. Hey, Dad. No, Brittany said her dad on here. So, and that's true too. So we gotta, cause sometimes they may tell us something and it's gonna hit us, but they feeling confident in telling us. We gotta be careful and to not snap out or lash out on them when it's bad, because you want them to be able to tell you. Because if you do that one time, and I mean, they probably can get punished depending on what they tell you. And I'm not saying don't punish. I'm saying be careful on how you react when they feel like they're opening up to you.
Yes, what you're saying is very important. And so so something that my youngest son did to me the other day made me realize that I had told them a while ago that if they're gonna tell me something and they know I'm gonna get mad about it, and if they really want to talk about it, to prep me about it, right? To let me know, like,
I like
hey,
that.
they prep me, you know? So like, hey, Dad, listen, I'm about to tell you something. And this is what he told me. He was like, Dad, I want to tell you something, but tell me you're not gonna get mad. And I was like, this nigga right here. What you done did?
Right.
I was like, what you did? He was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you. Just tell me you're not gonna get mad. I
I
was like,
promise.
all right, bro. I'm not gonna get mad. And he told me, and I'm not gonna lie, if he wouldn't have prepped me, I would have snapped about it. But
You
when
would
he
have
told
got
me that, I prepared myself with my calm head on. I put my calm head on. He told me, and
right.
then we talked about it. So
Okay.
I don't know if he pimped me, out of getting a whooping that day or whatever. But I do like the fact that he told me because he knows that because I told him before, like as long as you let me know about it, prep me, then we can talk about whatever. So that let me know that that he can bring anything to me, which is really good. But I don't know. I guess it's a double-edged sword because like
It
I said,
is.
I do feel like he pimped me a little bit, but also the fact that he came and told me something that he normally wouldn't tell me. So
Right.
that's a
And
good thing
it
though.
probably made him feel more confident too in
Hmm.
telling you that, right?
Hmm.
Now, one more because we're gonna have to get out of here soon because we really been
Yep.
getting with the kids. um,
Trick love the kid.
last one. Uh, the kids and the health epidemic.
Mm.
Very, very important. I think that it's real important that we teach our kids to eat healthy. Y'all should have knew I was gonna say that.
You go her
Teach our kids
passion.
to exercise, get them off from in front of them computers, them phones, them TVs. Turn the TV off sometimes. Actually,
Turn
I
it
made a
off.
decision a couple years ago to actually turn the direct TV off. If it wasn't for my husband, I would have never got it back. But he loved his basketball. And maybe it was football season, so I was probably like, okay, we can get it back
Ooh.
because I love my football. But I did, and
Mm.
I did it for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 months. I literally called them and turned it off because I was like, I don't want to sit in front of the TV anymore. I want to be more active. And that really got me into my shell of health. But there's an epidemic right now in the United States. We have fast food restaurants on every single corner. Um,
Boy.
Right. We have junk food. Oh, the convenience stores. Those are there for the same reason. You know, our kids are overweight. We setting them up. We setting them up, yeah, to be obese. We setting them up to have heart attacks. We setting them up to have strokes. We setting them up to get cancer because we're not teaching them to put the right things in their body.
No, that's not
Hmm.
including all the hormones and additives, preservatives that's all in these foods.
They don't even make food like they used to. They don't even. Do y'all
Mm-mm.
know that the vegetables in the store, if it don't say organic, it's probably being planted in synthetic soil, so it's not even giving you the nutrients that a normal, plant, a normal vegetable that's planted in proper soil gives you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why you think and supplements are so important? Because that's like almost the only way we're gonna get the right vitamins in our body. So if we not showing our kids nothing different, if we coming home and we feeding our kids Doritos and cheeseburgers for dinner, like what are we teaching our kids?
True
Like, and
that.
then when you add the electronics to it, I mean, you setting them up for failure.
You're giving a whole bunch of fats and not enough cardio.
100%.
Right. Thank you, cuz. She said she
Man.
agreed. What you think about that, Champagne?
All right. Well, first off, okay. Once we get off of this, remind me to let you know how you can still cancel your DirecTV and still get all the games. Okay. Because
What?
I don't. Hmm. I got you. I don't want to
Okay.
put it on air like that. I don't want DirecTV coming after me.
Right.
Because everybody canceling DirecTV because I'm letting you know how to still get the game.
Well,
But
let's just
listen,
say I do pay a lot of money for my. Well, anybody got the DirecTV know they pay a lot of money for that.
I'm about to save you a lot of money. Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, moving right along. Listen, so since I've been with my sweetheart, she's a nurse practitioner.
I
She's
love her. Where Tina at anyway? Where you girl?
man, she beside me, but she looking like Aunt
Hi,
Jemima right now. She looking like Aunt Jemima, so she can't.
Hi.
She ain't trying to put her face in there.
She's like, don't put me on camera
You know
today.
we don't play that, girl. You know we don't play that. Don't be putting me on camera.
You got some audio for him, or
Mm-mm.
you ain't got nothing to say?
Hi.
Oh, she said
Hi,
hi.
boo.
Hi.
All right, but boom, she's ultra conscious about healthy foods and vegetables, to the point where if we order some wings, okay, the wings be looking good. I'll
Ooh,
be ready to bust down on the wings. You know what the first thing she grabbed? The
what?
celery. I'm like,
That's
ooh, that celery look good.
that's
So I'm just
funny.
letting you know, listen. So
She be using
she know
reverse
about the
psychology on your butt. That's one of my
man.
vices, let me say. Actually, I got
What's that?
two real bad ones that I really crave for, and I gotta like make sure I only can do it like maybe once a month. But hot wings and hot Cheetos.
You gotta let the hot Cheetos go. They
Yeah,
flammable.
they are horrible. Horrible. I haven't had
You
them in
gotta
a
let 'em
while
go.
though, so I've been kind
That's
of like
good.
staying away from them. I was craving them the other day, but God is good because I went in the store and I was like, I'm just gonna give me just one of them small bags, them little $1.89. They used to be $1. Then they put them 109. Then they were 149.
Yo, remember they used to be two for $1? The small bag
With
was like you
less
get they used
chips.
to be 25 cents. Bruh, you used to get like four of them for $1. Remember back in the day, the little small bag at the
Right,
bodega little corner store?
right.
Man, nah, you
Straight
can't even
up.
get a bag of chips for under $1 now. It's crazy.
I went in that store. I promise you, there was not one bag of hot cheese. They were out. I was like, okay, God,
Look
I
at
want
God.
some. I'm gonna let that go. I ain't gonna get nothing else.
That's a sign right there.
Yeah, he was telling me like they don't never be. I see them all the time. I walk past them. I'm like, I ain't gonna grab them. I went in there to grab them, and it was none.
Wasn't there? Well, you know what it is then. You already know what it is.
Yeah. What you got to
Um,
share with us, Devin, before
Well,
we head out?
I got a health scare story. It's about my second oldest and my youngest. About a month and a half ago, there was something that happened at their school. This kid came and was passing out pixie sticks, which is candy, if y'all don't know what they are, because it's old.
The powder kid.
powdered sugar. Powdered
Yeah,
Yeah.
sugar.
passing out
Hmm.
pixie sticks to kids, and 8 children in the 5th grade end up going to the hospital from an unknown substance being in those pixie sticks. We got a phone
Dang.
call. I was about to rush to leave from work. My wife called me and said our kids did not take the candy.
Good.
Ooh.
So
I was so happy to hear that too, because I
Be-
remember my
be-
mama called me.
be careful. Also, what y'all feed y'all kids. Y'all know where this stuff comes from.
And tell them don't take stuff from other kids. Like, no, you don't need that candy. You don't need that. Don't let them take stuff from other kids.
Not only is it bad for their body, but it could be bad for their mind.
That's true.
Yes. And let me just say one more thing too that I was alluding to earlier. Like I said, my girls made me more health conscious. So,
Mhm.
you know,
I
growing up,
like
I
that,
thought
Tina. Tina, girl, you a woman of my heart, baby.
I was so growing up, you know, I thought I was Superman. I mean, because I was, but you know, I
You
thought I was
was.
Superman. You know, and I could eat anything. Yo, I could eat anything at any time of the day, and it didn't matter. And I still had my six pack. All right, and I still have my biceptuals. You know, so and I thought everything was good. But what she made me realize is the stuff you eat now, it won't necessarily affect you now. It'll get you later though. So those cancers and things that come up, you know, and you start getting lethargic as you get older when, you know, you start losing your energy and your testosterone levels start going down and, you know, and then the body just starts to break down in times when really you start to build families and stuff around your 30s and people start depending on you and you
Mhm.
start to love somebody, you know, and they love you. But then that all the stuff that you've been feeding yourself when you was a teenager in your 20s and all that stuff start to actually roost and that stuff starts to actually start to break down your body right when your
Mhm.
family needs you, right when your wifey loves you, you know, and all of that. And so really
Mhm.
what you're doing is hurting those people because you're shortening your lifespan or something's going to happen when you have these strokes or cancer and things like that and we're dying more earlier and it's really because of the bad foods that we're eating. So as you eat anything, okay, you should kind of think about what it's going to do to you in the future. How's it going to affect your kids? You know, if you live at a shorter life, and you know, you really hurting the people that love you. You
Right.
know, so and I fought this all the way up until about how long ago I started doing what you asked me to do. I don't even know. It took a while
Mhm.
to understand it, but you know, so I started thinking about that now. You know, especially and then my dad had the stroke, and he was superiorly Superman. Okay, he was
Yes.
the Superman to me for real, for real. But you know, the fact that when his body broke down, he had that stroke, and I was like, what? Not pops? Like that's
Right.
Papa.
No
Papa.
way.
Papa. I mean, all he needs is a little spinach. He gonna be good. But that's the thing. He stopped eating
You
his
a
spinach.
fool. Shut
He
up.
stopped eating his spinach, bro. You know, eating that ice cream at 12 o'clock at night, and you know, all that stuff, it'll come back and get you. So if you really love the people that you love and you want to be there for them, then eat right so you can be here longer and you can help them develop and guide them as long as you can. If you
Right.
love them and you know, that's what it's all about, man. Living and learning. All right, you know what I'm saying? We being real. This
That's
is real
right.
life stuff, man. It's real life
That's right.
stuff, real issues, real talk, man. You know.
That's
So
right.
let's live and
And
learn.
just to piggyback on that, when you do it, guess what? Your kids do it. My whole house do it
Mhm.
because when they watch me making my special recipes that taste so good, and they didn't realize it was so healthy, but they can, when they eat it, they don't realize that it's so healthy because it tastes so good. Because that's what it's about. You gotta find the recipes, and you're teaching your kids. And guess what? That's gonna carry on generational.
Yep. Yep.
My kids
Yes,
are
sir.
like great eaters. Kobe is not as good as Vino, but it's because they watched me do it. And there was one
Mm-hmm.
other thing before, because I do smell burritos. I'm smelling burritos. But Necessa said that um, she said it's so true. She said she worked with kids all day, and she think it's sad when you see a 2-year-old with his own cell phone, and then the parents say that's the only thing that keeps him calm. The devil is a lie. You better believe it.
All
You
that
know,
sugar you gave him.
I had to be checked because I was like, my grandson, he gets everything. Yeah, I buy him all the retro J's, all everything. So I was like, I bought it, I buy him everything. I can't power wheel, whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna get him a phone because he like playing with my phone. My son was like, Mama, you better not buy him no phone. Now he is too young. I don't want him on that phone, and I want him to be more active. And I was like, you know what? I didn't do that for them, and I'm not gonna do that to him. He about to get out here and be active. He gonna play sports. He gonna have some type of discipline. He's not gonna be sitting on no cell phone at no 2 years old. I'm so glad you said that because my son had to because I was just on the spoiled grandma thing. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about, hey, I just want to spoil my baby. Hey, I'll give him his own phone. Like I got an extra line. But he had to check me like, nah, ma, I know you grandma. You know what I mean? And you love your grandson and everything, but nah,
But
don't
help
do
me.
right.
Help me help them, Granny. Help me help them.
Okay.
Okay.
One
That's what it
thing.
Hey,
do.
Chris. Right.
One thing about my uncle, he was Superman, but when he tied me to that tree in Michigan, I'm gonna get you back.
My
Hey,
uncle
that's just a
was.
ritual. That was a
Hey,
ritual right there, dog. That's a
Hey,
rite of passing. That shows that you getting older. You get tied to that tree that one time when you break out, then you can help us go catch some other little niggas and tie them to the tree. You know
hey,
how it go.
I know you remember he buy everybody water guns, but he'll show have his the backpack, the biggest water gun out there.
He carried the most white. He
You
bought
already
y'all the
know.
little ones.
You already know. Y'all out there, squirt, 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 squirt. He
Right.
getting that
He carried for
whoosh,
y'all because my uncle,
bouncing you.
he was sweet on us. Like he let the girls, we got away with everything with him. He gave us everything. He was so nice to us. I don't remember my uncle ever whooping me. If he did, I don't remember because it had to be very, rare or maybe once. I don't even remember. My aunties, they was hard on us girls. My uncle Nate though, I didn't even know he was that hard on y'all. I knew he came after he got y'all a lot. But I didn't know that he was that hard because he just seemed so sweet to us. Like to
He
us, that was
was.
our Uncle Nate, man. Our Uncle Nate loved the girls. He took care of the girls, but I didn't know he was that hard on y'all.
Well, that's the thing. Teamwork makes the dream work. The aunties was hard on the ladies, turning them into nice, respectable ladies,
They
and
got
the
us.
uncles was hard on the guys, turning us into men, and that's how we all, it's like I said, teamwork, man. It takes a community to raise us, and a community definitely helped to raise us all. So
Yeah,
that's
they
why we
did.
here.
If you think about the outcome and you think about everybody, man, we all doing pretty well.
All lived on the same street.
Everybody
We lived
grew
on
up
the
at
same
grandma's
street.
house because our parents was at work and we was over there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was
Yep.
the bomb. But I smell burritos. Y'all know what that means.
That
We
mean
hit
it's a
it all.
wrap.
We sliced it. We diced it. We cut it down for y'all. Y'all know what it is. It's always real life, real issues, real talk. We keep it real lit. We
Real
take these
litty.
topics every week, Tuesday night at 6, and we slice, dice it, cut it all up in so many different ways. We hit them. Y'all need to go to our page. It's Living and Learning with Cousins under the pages here on Facebook. Like our page. We will be back next week. Arrivederci. Bye,
6 o'clock
cousin. Love
Mountain
you.
Time,
All right,
9 o'clock Eastern Time. Y'all be easy. All right, cousin Dev, cousin
all right
Ruth.
now.
Y'all know
That's
what it
right.
is, man. Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye. How far did we go?